What's up, guys? Keen from Yumi and Decree. We're here today with who?
Christian Vogler, or as my back of my sweatshirt says, Vogler.
I see. Vogler. So what'd you do today, dude?
I went 7-1 at the regional and took first place.
Nice, man. What deck were you playing?
I was playing Draco cows.
Gotcha. All right, let's go and take a look at it.
All right, so you got the one rescue rabbit. This thing wins games, comes on the field, bounces off, brings out more stuff. It's crazy. That deck's good. I played 3 Maxis. This is a need and staple in the deck right now, simply because most of the decks that you're going to play against are the top decks are Cosmo. Cosmo's being really popular. Blue Eyes is actually going to be out. I didn't play any today, but that's going to be a deck that's going to be abused, I guess. And then the only deck I sided down against was Monarchs. Monarchs, I sided most of them out, but that's just Monarch matchup for you.
Gotcha.
You got the Luster engine, which you have 1 Lecter, 3 Master, 2 Vector, and 1 Luster.
How'd you like these ratios?
Personally, I loved it because the painful decision, which I'll show you in a minute, I play, allows you to get this off and you can still ditch it, and it still has a rabbit target. I have another rabbit target that I'll show you, but I run the 2 Vector, the 2, and the 1. Most of the time when I go face up, if I need a high scale, I have the 2 high scales. If I need low scales, I have low scales for it. So my scale ratio was perfect. It always was able to pendulum summon. I was never really drawing dead. There was, I think, one game when I didn't open it as good as it. I opened up 2 Key Turtles. But I was able to draw a Lizard Jaw for my turn because I went second, and I made the Upstart Goblin, or not the Upstart, the Pot of Greed play.
Gotcha.
The next cards in the deck, I got 2 Flash Knights. This is my tech right now that I'm playing, or not really the tech, I guess, but the card that I chose to play. It's a painful decision target, and it's a rabbit target. It's also a high scale, meaning it unclogs your dead hands. If you have all low scales, which is bound to happen in Pepe, if you painful decision, this is your new target for the high scales. This allows you to go off just as much, and it's a vanilla. That's one of the broken things. It's a vanilla. They can't break sword it or anything like that. They can't do anything as far as that goes. You have two Ariadnes. Standard, I want to switch out my trap lineup, which I do play traps. I'll show you in a minute. You have 2 Eccentric to clear the back row or to get rid of anything like Domain. That was one of my main issues. That's why I run this. I run it at 2. I don't necessarily always want to search it. It's not as consistent as it was during the last format. This being the new format, most back rows are a lot dead right now. So it's just something that was a situation when they set 1 or set 2, you can pop the 1, hope it's a warning or a strike, and you go off.
Gotcha.
You got the Pepe engine, which is 3 Sorcerer. This is the MVP of the card. This is the #1 card right now. You get this out as fast as you can and start going off. If you pendulum this, unfortunately I'm not playing Pendulum Rising or anything of that build. I'm simply just going with the standard build. But this card will always pop my scales or pop Ariadne and search out, and it just becomes an instant +3 if you pendulum off it. It's so broken. You have the one of us in the deck, which is the 1 monkey board, 1 joker. And oddly enough, when I went the sorcerer, I didn't search out the monkey board. I never really wanted to see the monkey board. The monkey board was more of a, I want to top deck it if they clear my board. Most of the time I went this, and I had low skills in the hand or high skills in the hand, I would go the E-Turtle or the Silver Claw, which I also play. I'd get the Silver Claw and then go off with that. I played 2 Silver Claw right here. I play 2 Lizard Jaw, 2 G-Turtle. That's the Pepe engine, or the Perform Power engine.
How'd you like these ratios?
Personally, I loved it. I loved being able to Pot of Greed and then setting up for next turn for another Pot of Greed. That was one of my main key things, and that helped out with the consistency of the deck, because I was able to literally go through 10, 15 cards first turn and be able to set up for next turn to be able to, where if I get Raigeki or Dark Hold or whatever they had to break my board, I can make another board right after that.
Gotcha.
And that was the key thing right there. That's it for the monsters. Pretty standard, nothing too flashy or anything like that. The only thing was the Flash Knight, which, pun intended. You have 2 Twin Twisters and 2 Painful Decision. Twin Twister over MST right now because there's a lot of floodgates going up, especially with the Demise engine coming out for a lot of decks. You play your Senji Demise, Klee Demise, whatever deck that you have. The 1-ons for the spells, you got 1 Raigeki, 1 Face Off, 1 Institution. And the only instant fusion target is Norden. That's the only one you go into. You make Dweller with it, and you can actually boost Dinosaur up because of the fact that it has the Norden underneath it. So it becomes 2,500. And then that was it for the spell lineup. For the spell or the chap lineup, you have the Solemn Brigade. You have 4 Solemns, 3 Strikes, 1 Warning, and 1 Chaos Chapel. Most of the time I sided the Chaos Trap hole out simply because most of the decks I play against, it wasn't necessary to go in Chaos Trap hole. And I actually sided into Providence, Ultimate Providence, which is another card I'll show you. That was just a testing out. I didn't really care for it too much. I might actually put more Chaos Trap holes in it. It just depends on the matchup. The Cosmos, I'll definitely take it out. There's no reason you want to banish it because they're just going to add it back with Town next turn.
Gotcha. How many cards is this?
This is 40 card main deck.
40? Okay. Alright, let's check out the extra deck.
Alright, extra deck is for the most part standard. John Moore called me on one card, which I'll show you in a minute. You got 1 Castel, 1 Giant Hand, 2 Paladins, 1 Emerald. This card is broken right now. I love the fact that you can OTK with it because you can, when you Painful Decision, you bring out your board, make this guy detach, special summon one of the ones from that you sent to the graveyard, being Master, Vector, whatever you sent for the Painful Decision, and you can go off. Usually you can end up in OTK.
Gotcha.
You have 1 Dweller, 1 Rhapsody. This card I tried out. Unfortunately, I tried it out thinking it was a spell speed 2 effect, so I was going to try to banish the primes and try to be sneaky about it, but I didn't actually do it because a friend told me at the last minute after I've already submitted my deck list that you can't do that because it's supposed to be 1 effect. So it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, but I felt if I would have played it, it might have come in clutch, but I didn't really think I needed it. I'd rather go like another Dweller or something.
Did you ever make that?
No, I didn't make any of those games. The main card that I made was Diamond Dire, Paladin, and Utopia, the Lightning. The other ones you have Diamond Dire, Utopia, Lightning, and Hope Harbinger. I actually didn't make this at all today, unfortunately. I wasn't able to, being the deck is not as consistent as it was with the last format with 3 Wavering and everything. It's harder to go into the combos where you go triple or double Ignister and a Dynasty on board, make it to where you can set up and stop all this stuff. I'd still guarantee play it because if there's times you get that hand, you go off like that. It's just I wasn't able to, unfortunately, and I actually got a poor ruling on the Rescue Rabbit. I had 4 monsters on the board with the Rabbit. I attempted to activate the Rabbit because I was going to set up a double Dynaster against the Counter Fairy person I played today, and they ruled it that at first that the Rabbit, when it's banished, whatever, it checks on board, but Konami ruled it differently now, and they actually came to me and apologized for me after the match and told me that it was different, but luckily I had already won it, otherwise I would have been kind of salty.
Yeah.
You had 1 Norden, 2 Dynaster, and 1 Ignister.
Why'd you only play 2 Dinosaur?
Dynaster's not a key card anymore, unfortunately. Most of the time, they're going to Twin Twist your back row. They're afraid of your back row over the Scales. Scales, I mean, yeah, that's cool, but if you can sit there and clear their back row, you know you can have game, especially with the Cosmos, with the fact that they can OTK so fast.
Yeah.
Cosmos can OTK fast. BA can actually OTK really fast. So most of the time, they will always go for your back row. So Dynaster wasn't a necessary problem. It mainly came into a situation where if you were top decking, and that's when I would go into it. Or the fact that I would go into this, bring out something else, and then make a Harbinger or something, or however I needed to get into a bigger monster to go for game. Which most of the time, actually, the broken play I love to do right now is you set up the scale for the Sorcerer, you Pendulum, and you don't activate the Sorcerer on the field effect unless you have an Ariada or something where you want to search 1 time. Leave the Sorcerer in the thing, activate its effect because it's a mandatory effect, and it gives all your performance powers plus 1,000. And so that literally allowed me to OTK because I was able to Diamond Dire the 1 monster that he had, and then I pushed for game because it was over. It was 31 for the Joker, 31 for the Silver Claw, and then 25 for 24 for the Lizard Jaw, and that was game right there. So he had already taken, I think, 400 or something. That's it for the extra deck. Side deck, we'll get to it right now. I was actually just messed up by doing it real quick. Alright, so it's all I went. The main card I played that I loved and I sided into against most of the matchups was the Magic Deflector. I sided against the Monarch a lot. This card is MVP against Monarchs. It stops Stormforce, it stops Domain, it turns it off for the turn so you can go off and Pendulum. It's a really, really great card to have. The other card I was testing was Ultimate Providence. I didn't care for this too much, though it is still a good card. I might switch it up with another deck I play, but this deck it didn't do as much as I thought it would be because I'm not really playing trap heavy or spell heavy decks. And mainly it's monsters with 28 monsters.
Gotcha.
So it's not as good. System Town for the Cosmo matchup, and actually when I played against Klee and I system down him right there, and that really hurt him really bad.
Why would you do this?
I didn't like the deck. It lost me.
Back at it again.
2 Massacre Strict, which is also good for Klee. Featured enough. Klee and Monarchs. I sided usually 2, and 2 Imperial Iron Walls for the Monarch matchup. That was my most feared matchup, but I actually ended up beating every Monarch play. The only person I lost to was DJ, and coincidentally I can say it, but you probably won't believe me. I was going to give him the win anyway, being XO and he was X1. So that way he can guarantee top. Me and him go back a while. But he actually did end up winning and earning it 100%.
Gotcha.
The other card that I love is Kokimiri Draco. Right now it stops light and dark monsters from being special. You just Revere, Luster, Rector, any of the Dracos in the hand. You put this on board and you win. I actually beat me against a Monarch player. He had Prime in the graveyard. I pendulum this out with everything else and just swung for game because of the fact that he can't Battle Fader me, he can't do anything like that, so I wasn't afraid of anything. And plus I had Strike Set, so I wasn't really too worried if he had like an Ether or something that I could train off.
Gotcha.
And the last MVP card right now, and I think this card should be played in every side deck, is Denko Sector. It won me a match against Cleaves, it won me against Counter Fairies. Counter Fairies I opened up broken. I opened up Double Twin Twister, this, Paladin, or not Master, and a Lizard Jaw. And then I drew for turn, I drew Instant Fusion. He had 5 back row and a Kaiku out. Double Twin Twisted for the back row, hitting a Chaos Trap hole, normal summon the Denko, securing the last one down, which he said it was a demise. Instant Fusion the Master back that I pitched, and just pushed for game. I attacked over the Kaiku with the Master, attacked him directly for Denko, and then I made a what's it called? Utopia. And I actually didn't go into the other Utopia, I just kept the regular Utopia, that way he couldn't get over the Denko, because he was couldn't set anything, couldn't draw anything. The card of demise was dead for him because he got the discard his hand. And that's it for the deck profile.
Okay. So what were your matchups?
I played first round was Monarch. It was 2-1. I beat him. Round 2 was Klee Ricky. I played. Round 3 was Cosmos. I beat that. 4 I played Liftport. No, I played Counterfeits. Counterfeits round 4.
God damn.
5 was Monarchs. 6 was BA. 7 was BA. 7 was Monarchs again. 8 was BA, and 8th round was DJ was my final loss of BA. And he opened up godlike. I mean, there's nothing I could do. He literally had every single out to everything I did. I summoned the Koki. He had double Fogblade the first one, and then I MST'd it, Fogbladed it with the second one, and after that I couldn't win. He also twin twisted me, and it hurt too.
Wow. So how do you feel about this deck, like in this format with all the new decks coming out and shining victories?
Personally, I think this deck, it's going to be a hard competitor against the Blue Eyes. I want to see more what that deck can do. I still think it's a great deck. I still play it, but I think I need to do a little more testing with the side. I see a lot more people going with the Odd Eyes build. I'm not really sure I like that. I know the Dark build I don't want to play because it's inconsistent. Granted, the Lure's at 2, it's just the fact that you can still brick with that. The consistency of the deck I played is just not as good. But my build, I mean, I was constantly opening up low scales, high scales, and being able to go off. So, I mean, my build I can't complain about. It did the work and it did the job, so I got my win.
Gotcha. Okay, so any shoutouts you want to give?
Shout out to Team Yeet.
Hey,
Best
Team
team in Austin.
Yeet. Hola.
Topping everywhere. We topped the Zodiac tournament. We topped the regional. I won it first and foremost. Shout out to House of Champions and
What the hell did they do? House of Decree, nigga.
House of Decree. Alright, shout out to House of Decree, niggas. You, me, and Decree. Subscribe to the channel, like all the videos. Except for this one, you don't have to like it.
Yeah.
Hit us up on Tinder.
Oh, damn. Hit up on that.
That's not right.
Alright, man. Anything else you want to say?
Nope, that's it. Oh, D. Spell my name right, please. It's Vogler. Sorry.
Yeah, can we see it? Can we see it real quick?
Yeah, they fucked up.
Get naked.
I see.
Steal all the shit.
Gotcha.
The only saltiest
Vogler.
thing about the entire weekend. I had to wear
Gotcha.
this.
First time with the shirt.
He's went Vogler on all his opponents, so it's all good.
God. Alright, man. Well, congrats. First top right.
Yep, first
Yeah,
top.
first top.
First top, and it has to be a win. That's how you have to do it.
Yeah, that's crazy,
How we
man.
do it, eat.
Yeah, well, congratulations. You got the box.
Love this
No, instead of that, whatever budget,
That budget
dark
Dark Magician
DMG
Girl
one.
box?
Yeah, that one's like $20 or something.
30 maybe.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, congrats. You really deserve it.
I appreciate
and,
it.
yeah, we'll see you at the next event.
All right.